Welcome back. I'm Pastor Dan Abraham, continuing our series on When You Feel Like, my Bernie Sanders imitation, when you feel like, well, cheated or unheard, afraid, powerless, when you feel like crying, when you feel confused. This week, when you feel betrayed. And truth be told, we've all felt betrayed at times. Have you ever noticed that the person who can hurt us the most is the one we love the most? A stranger says an angry word to us and, well, who cares? It's a stranger. We blow them off and we walk away. But if someone we love says a hurtful word, we'll stew about it. We might cry. We might get angry. We're going to react in a much more deeper manner because they love us more. No one can hurt us more than the one we love the most. Whole different topic, devotional thought of why some people are afraid to love. They're afraid to get hurt. That's the principle that's there. Here today, when you feel betrayed by someone you love. And what I want to put to you is that God understands those feelings of betrayal. He had gathered around himself the people he created. Jesus had gathered around himself his own people, his chosen people. He made friendships now with not just the disciples, but these 12 disciples, his apostles. Then there's this inner circle, Peter, James, and John, his closest of the close. And he warns Peter, you're going to betray me. And sure enough, just as Jesus said, before the rooster crows 3 times, Peter disowns him. Peter, who only an hour or so earlier was willing to fight to protect Jesus from being arrested, when he sees that Jesus is now on trial and might actually die for what he's being charged of, teaching the truth about God, Peter disowns him. And after his third denunciation of Jesus, this is Matthew chapter 26, after the third time he calls down curses on himself and swears, I don't know the man, referring to Jesus. Immediately a rooster crowed. Then Peter remembered the word Jesus had spoken, before the rooster crows, you will disown me 3 times. And Peter is cut to the heart and weeps bitterly. First part of the devotion for today that I want you to think about, Jesus understands your feelings of betrayal when someone you love has hurt you. But what does Jesus do with that? How is he different than the people around us, the people we love? How is he different than us? And what's the good example he gives to us? Well, he reinstates Peter. He forgives Peter. He has Peter lead the apostles. Why? Because he always remains faithful. He never betrays us. The way Paul says that in Romans chapter 1, and here's a very familiar passage, Romans chapter 1, I'm not ashamed of the gospel, or the good news about who Jesus is. I'm not ashamed of the gospel, because in it the power of God for salvation for everyone who believes. First for the Jew, then for the Gentile. For in the gospel, a righteousness from God is revealed, a righteousness that is from faith to faith, or more literally, a righteousness that is out of faith to faith, out of God's faithfulness to his promises, to people, to you, out of the faithful life that Jesus lived. God's Spirit calls forth the faith you need to trust in him. Even when others have hurt you, he is with you. Paul says to young pastor Timothy, here is a trustworthy saying. If we die with him, that means with Christ, if we die with him, we'll also live with him. If we endure, we'll also reign with him. If we disown him, he will also disown us. But if we are faithless, he will remain faithful, for he cannot disown himself. God knows your feelings of betrayal, just like he knows your feelings of, feeling cheated or unheard, when you feel like crying or confused. He knows all your feelings, for he's gone through them himself and has remained faithful to his promise to be with you, to save you, to keep you for all eternity. May that encourage you in the weeks and days ahead. See you next time. God's peace. Bye.